year, I thought wouldn't it be great to put on a big match, get a few well-known people down.
I'm here with Jake Howard, joined here by Freddie Bolt. I'm here with Dan Masuku from really Gary Bushell. I've been here with Tanya Bushell, Lucy Flight, Mike Squeaky McLean. How are you here with Tony Clay, with the Mayor of Bexley? Hamid, British actor, and I'm here with Dan.
And all for mental health awareness, and I literally cannot believe how many of you turned up. Thank you so much for all your support. Let's not forget, this event is about mental health awareness, as it is Mental Health Week. So if you know anybody out there who's struggling with their mental health, who doesn't feel themselves lately, there will be lots of people here that are struggling, that don't feel themselves, that don't want to get up in the morning, etc. And if they should, please do go and get support, because no one else should feel like that, nobody at all. So this event is, of course, to raise as much money as we can, to make sure that we can access even more people in the borough. We want to raise £40,000 to purchase a liver, to be able to take our services around the borough and support all those people that wouldn't ordinarily come to our offices. Some people might think that they'll be diagnosed or they're called mad, rapid, or, you know, better feel ashamed. You don't need to feel ashamed. We all have mental health, we all have good mental health, and lots of us at times have bad mental health. So please remember, if you do need support, please come and see us. And I just want to say thank you again to the players, to the celebrities for coming down, for Gary, who's done this with me at Welling, for Welling, for
Number 11, Sam Hines. Number 12, Tony Gray. Number 15, Ben Osborne. And number 14, Matt Marsh.
How did you get involved with Mind in Bexley today?
They emailed my tattoo shop, and then so I saw the email, and that was it. And then it was months and months ago that I got asked, and here I am today.
And being now a local boy away from Essex, would you not ask to play for the Welling team, or
No,
do you wish after today's result that you played for the Welling team?
I wish I was on the other side. Yeah. It was hard. Obviously, their experience showed.
Exactly.
Just
and it was all about raising money today in the crowd.
exactly. Yeah. It was still enjoyable. They were really nice guys, and I really enjoyed playing football with them today. It was a pleasure.
Okay, Dan. Well, thanks for your time. Pleasure to
Thank
meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
What have you been up to since you've left EastEnders?
We actually made a film here. We made our own film, written and directed by my friend Rob, and I co-wrote it with him. It's called A Man Down, and it's about a football manager struggling, with the game and struggling with depression. And it was something that we really wanted to talk about, and show it in sport, because we know there's a lot of pressure in the game. So one of the gentlemen, the man here, what's his name? I think it's in the white T-shirt. He works for the club.
Oh, right, yeah. All right.
He basically said to me to come down and play for the charity, which goes hand in hand with what we're actually doing. So it all worked out together. So that's why I've come out here to support. Because it's very important that we speak about mental health, not just during Mental Health Week, but every.
And especially for men, it's a silent killer for men.
Because a lot of men don't want to speak up and talk about it. So
exactly.
it was
football's a very good aid to get the awareness out to
That's
everyone.
right. So it's a great event today, and I'm really happy and proud that you've had such a great turnout. So yeah.
You've joined Mind in Bexley today for the
Yes.
charity event. What brought you here today?
Well, my fellow brother in Ackley Bridge, Freddie, he told me about it, which I then got in touch with Laura, and she was more than happy to have me down. And now I just can't wait to get on pitch. Really can't, so...
And why do you think mental health is very important to speak about, especially for a bloke, because a lot of male suicides that go...
Exactly, I know a lot of men like to bundle it up inside and let it eat away at them, but the best thing to do is speak to somebody, and we are here to raise awareness, and that's what I want people to see, that we're here to have fun, but we're also here to raise.
Okay, and you're here today at Mind in Bexley Heath's charity fundraising event, here to play football for the Celebrity 11. What brought you down to Mind, and why are you here?
I just think anywhere I can sort of help out charities or anything like that, I'm all for. And when I've been speaking to Laura, I can see the passion behind it all. The hard work that's been put in by the team, and mental health nowadays is such a massive thing. And I don't believe. I mean, more's been done to sort of make people aware of it now. But I think especially for men are sometimes scared to talk out. So I think it's good to, football is it's a sport for both men and women, but a lot of sort of tough men play rugby, and a lot of them sort of feel like it's a bit of a coward's way out to talk about it, whereas it's encouraging people to open up and talk about the problems rather than struggling with them on their own, basically.
And, what position are you hoping to play today?
Left back in the changing room. No,
and then get the glory after.
Absolutely, yeah. Come on, 90-minute winner. No, I think right back. I'll settle in nicely at right back today. Just happy.
And talking about today, what drew you to Mind in Bexley's charity event today?
Well, it might have been, you might have picked up on it before. It's something that I've spoken about before, mental health, in my journey in the circle, and how I had my own sort of battles with mental health prior to the show, a year prior to the show. And I kind of just wanted to use myself as a story and an example to say, look, last year I wasn't even sure I wanted to be here anymore. And a year later, I'm now on TV and I'm doing stuff like this, and people are saying really nice things about me. And it's just strange how the whole world can flip 180. Yeah. So I just wanted to, I suppose, from my perspective, work with a charity that represented that sort of journey. Yeah.
What position are you hoping to play today?
To be honest, I'm just happy to be playing part. I haven't played football for many years. I used to be okay. I don't know how I am now. I'm probably not very good. But centre mid, striker, I think I'll be probably most comfortable there. But I'm happy with anywhere.
And you're here as a special announcer today for Mind in Bexley. What brought you to the charity and what brought you to the event?
My wife. No, but my missus is coaching the celebrity team. So that's when I asked me to come down. It's a great cause. I said to come and help.
But yeah, mine's a really, it's a charity really close to my heart. I've done quite a lot of bits and bobs for them before. So yeah, I think it's a really, really amazing cause.
And why do you think raising awareness about mental health so important this time, like in 2019? Why do you think it still needs raising at the moment?
I think unless you have someone that's close to you that suffers with something mental health, a lot of people don't have any sort of knowledge about what mental health actually entails, and the fact that everyone actually probably will suffer with some sort of mental health problem within their lifetime and maybe not even know that that's what it is. It can be quite confusing, especially for young people, but also it can be very confusing for older people. I think especially for kind of grown adults, if you feel something that you've never felt in your whole life, most people would kind of just brush it under the carpet, and I think it's so important to address the situation when it's happening as opposed to brushing it under the carpet, because if you don't address it and get help for it as soon as you possibly can, then it can get quite dangerous.
What brings you to Winning Unite today in Mind in Bexley charity event?
Well, two things. I met Laura quite early in my mayorship, and Laura and I talked about I was raising funds anyway for Mind. And Laura came up with the idea that perhaps we would run an event such as this. And as soon as she said, look, we're going to run an event, I said, look, it'd be absolute pleasure for me to come along and be here. So I'm here. So I want to be here. It's a charity that I think it's a very, very worthy charity, as all others are in.
Okay, and today you're playing for the Celebrity 11 here at the Mind in Bexley charity event. What brought you here?
Yeah, Kevin Orlock, actually, who used to play for Man City, is a mate of mine. He just rang and said, look, they'd asked him, and would you play? And I said, yeah, I've not played for ages, so I don't know how long my knees are going to last out.
Where are you hoping to play today?
On that pitch right there.
Nice. Any goals?
No, mate, I'm left back. I never score goals. I'd stop them from coming in. That's about it, really.
And today you're here managing the Celebrity 11 for the Mind in Bexley charity event. How did you get roped into this, really? Or
well, I'm a chief exec of another charity in the borough. I look after all the deaf and hard of hearing people in the borough. Chief exec of Bexley Deaf Centre. We're really lucky in the London Borough of Bexley because all the voluntary sector, we all come together, we all work together. So when I heard about this, Mind said, oh, do you want to come and manage the team? They knew my footballing background. I went, yeah, of course, I help out. So I have got a level 1 coaching certificate, which does allow me to coach children up to the age of 11. So, a team of celebrities, similar sort of thing.
And how do you think you're going to keep everyone in check today?
Oh, I'm quite strict, actually. No, don't worry about that. I'm quite strict. I'm sure that they'll come into line. I'm sure I'm going to get them under control.
I think it's.
And you're playing for the Celebrity 11 today. What brought you to Mind in Bexley especially?
So I know Laura Burke, who works for Mind and everything else. And Mind is just a very special charity to me. It's something that means a lot to me, to be honest. I think mental health is a huge issue at the moment, and I think I'm so glad that you're starting to see people come forward and talk about it, and it's really starting. It's not a taboo anymore. It's not like, oh, just man up, oh, you'll be all right. It's a case of, no, let's talk about it and let's get to the root of. Yeah, exactly, and it's all right to be, and it's like, how do we get through that? What can we do to make you feel better and a better version of you? You know what I mean? And just to feel great, and I think, it's important. Really
and
important.
was there no little law about you being a local boy having to play for the Wedding 11?
No. Part of my dream was that. No, exactly. But no, obviously I wouldn't play for the Wedding 11. I just want to play football. Do you know what I mean? To the best ability that I can.
Where are you hoping to play today?
I have no idea. I'll put myself up top. No, I'm joking. No, I'll put I don't know, maybe in the midfield at the back, changing room.
From Mind, hello. What's your job role at Mind?
So I am one of the service leads for the Psychological Therapies Department, which is also known as IAPT.
And what does that entail?
We've got a team of about 60 therapists that provide psychological therapy, so it's counselling and CBT for people suffering from mild to moderate anxiety and depression.
And how important do you think it is to have local mental health teams across England instead of one big national team that people have to wait ages to see?
Okay, it's actually crucial. I mean, you've got to have local teams, local support, and also other events like this that support the local teams, to keep us going, keep us running. We've got NHS contracts, and that's great, but we do a lot of charity work, aside from that. So we need all the help we can get. Crucial to the community that we have this. So my team that I work with, we work with adults age 18 and over. So anyone in that age category can self-refer to us via the website. So that's the Mind in Bexley website. Or they can give us a call and just refer by telephone. Anyone younger than that, we would advise that they go to their GP and just seek advice. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and with today, we hear it's going to be quite an impressive turnout. How happy are you guys with the event so far?
Oh, happy just doesn't come close. This is just amazing. It's such a fantastic opportunity for the local Mind charity to raise some much needed funds, and it's just, amazing to get everyone behind it. So grateful, so grateful.
And who are you rooting for today? The Wedding 11 or the Celebrity 11?
I've got to go for the local team. It's got to be
Laura and David from Mind. What's your roles within Mind?
So I'm the community engagement worker and fundraising coordinator at Mind in Bexley.
And I'm the Chief Executive Officer, and I've been at Mind for 11 years.
And what does your job role entail?
So mine is going around to the community and promoting our services as much as possible so people know about the work that we do. And I also aim to raise as much money as possible for us.
And my role is around leadership and development and strategic and making sure that the organisation is well placed locally to be able to be part of the debate around mental health and mental awareness and raising awareness. And I also do a lot of tendering and procurement around trying to bring funds in.
What advice would you give our teenagers who might be feeling a bit anxious or a little bit depressed? How can they contact you guys for a bit of help and support?
So we actually look after people who are 18 and over, so we wouldn't be able to unfortunately help anyone who's 16 to 17, but anyone 18 or over.
Yeah, we have some 18 and
Oh, okay,
19
perfect.
year olds.
So all they would do is they could either call us, all of the information is on our website, and they would literally call up and say that they would like to seek our counselling service and go from there. It's a very easy procedure.
And we also have we're developing a young person's peer support group. So it would be good to, if you're feeling a bit anxious about accessing specific services, that might be a good starting point. So you can speak to people who have experienced mental health themselves and are in that age category.
And some of our students are carers for their parents who suffer with mental health. Is there any support groups that Mind in Bexley offer for carers with people who suffer from mental health?
We do a lot of work with carers. We have a carer support group. We've also got peer support groups for carers. And carers are really a major support for people with mental health and go unnoticed, unfortunately. So it's really important, I think, for carers to have that support mechanism in place so that they can continue in that caring role. So again, just contact us on our main number and we can put you in contact with the carer support group.